Hi everyone. So today I thought we would do something a little bit different. So I usually do pendants, and today I thought we'd do a ring. So I've got one piece of what is this, 0.8 mil silver plated copper wire, and it is probably a little bit longer than I need it, but it is 12, about 16 inches, yeah, about 17 inches in length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a spiral ring. So it's going to look something like this, but just one single color. And we're just going to walk through the process together. So to start the ring, now this mandrel's not got sizes on it. So when I'm making rings, unless they're customs, I don't make them specific sizes. I just let people try them on when I'm at events and shows. But what I will do is I will hold the wire against the mandrel with my thumb. Try not to bash my camera with the mandrel. And then I will basically wrap the wire around, trying to keep it level. So if it starts to go squiffy, you can just lay it down, size it back up, get it straight, and then just carry on wrapping around. Now I find rings particularly fiddly. Don't really know why. I've always found them fiddly. I always sort of get halfway through and go, oh, I've done it wrong. So don't be surprised if I do that today. I think it's just because I need like another pair of hands to do this. I'm holding it, twisting it. So what I'm going to do is, once I've got the wire wrapped 3 times around, I'm just going to pop the mandrel down, and then I'm just going to basically pull these wires so they sit. Now you want them to sit straight to each other, so try and make sure they're not crossing over. Once you've got that point where you're happy that all the wires are straight to each other and as close to each other as you can, you're just going to get the top and bottom wire and just spin them round each other like so. So you end up with this sort of cross round each other. So what we am going to do is, because this is going to be a big spiral, we're going to work each side individually. So you're going to take the long side, the long part from one side, and just bring it up. Hold this with your thumb, bring it up and round, so it just starts to curl around that point in the center. And then you can do the same with the bottom wire. Again, just hold it, bring it round. So you've then got the bottom part, top part comes around again. And you basically keep working the wire around, so you end up with this nice spiral. Now I always find that you can do both wires together, but I always find when you do this, you end up with part of it not sitting quite how you want it to. And if you do it one wire at a time, you can kind of guide the wire exactly where you want it to be. So what we want to try and do here is we're going to bring this one round for the last time and this one down. So we've got this spiral-esque type shape on our ring. So if we put it on the finger, you can see it just sits. Obviously it's not big enough for my finger, but that's not what we're making it for, so that's okay. So then what we want to do is, now we need to try and keep these 3 wires as tight together as we can. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch them with my finger, keep them where I want them. This is where I mean it gets a little bit fiddly, because you're going to have to try and hold, twist, bend, and everything else all in one go. With the wire, if the wire is sort of like medium soft, you don't want to wire too hard, but you can kind of just start to curl it around inside and then bring it around underneath. Again, just trying to make sure that you're keeping that spiral and your 3 actual ring wires nice and level. Desperately trying to make sure I stay on camera, but as I'm watching what I'm doing, I'm not looking at the camera, so apologies if I'm all over the place. So as you can see here, I've just pulled this wire around here twice. So it's gone up and round, well, once really, but it looks like twice. So it's gone up and round and then over. We're just going to do the same on the other side. So we're just going to hold those wires and we're just going to gently ease this around so it comes through. That's where our fingers are. As I say, I always find rings really fiddly, but you know, if it doesn't challenge you, blah blah blah. Anyway, so we're just going to pinch that up and round again on that side. So your ring is now secure. Yeah, you've got your spiral and you've got your tails. So this tail is a little bit kinked because it was a bit shorter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my nylon pliers and just try and straighten it out a little bit. This one doesn't really need it, but I'll just pull it just to give it that straightness as well. So again, just checking around all of your wires, making sure that they are nice and flush, which they are. And then what I want to do is with this wire, I'm just going to pull it down. So you can see it's got a bit of a curve there. And I'm just going to ease it round into a spiral. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim the end off and just do the rest. So I shape it round with my pliers, squeeze it in, and then just sit it up where I want it to be. There is good, maybe a little bit higher. That's it. So it just sits on the edge there, no rough edge. Just do exactly the same on this side, spin it round. Because this one's a little bit longer, it will probably move a little bit easier. Trim the end off of that a little bit, and I'm still just going to finish it off with pulling it in by the pliers and just shaping it round, and then just building that spiral up. So we just need to give this a little bit more of a tweak. Put it there, that's it, there we go. Put it into where you want it, squash it down. So you can see the 3 base wires have barely moved, the spiral hasn't moved. So the last touch I do, just to give that spiral that little bit more solid feel, is I just squeeze it with my flat nose pliers. So, and there you have it. I'm not going to go on my finger. There you have it, a nice little spiral ring. So if you try this tutorial, let me know how you get on in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. All right, thanks so much everyone. Take care. Bye.